It's like the timer gotta go
Oh,
right.
right there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's slow. Okay. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, Queens. Good evening. So today we have a guest speaker. First of all, thank you everybody for joining. We have a guest speaker, Derek Johnson from Bay Form Fitness. Derek, can you tell us a little bit about yourself today, shorty?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today? I'm a personal trainer. I run Bear Form Fitness. I spent about 11 years in the Army. Just got out not too long ago. That's about it. Trying to preach to the streets and stuff like that about good health and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So today we're gonna be talking about feminine and masculine energy. A lot of things be happening today in this world. So, Dirk and I, we always converse about so many different things about what's going on, especially the feminine and masculine energy. When to have it, when to bring it out. We all, female and male, we both, exude those characteristics. So, just to jump into it, to you, Derek, what's feminine energy?
What is feminine energy? So that is feminine energy is basically um, uh, I don't like how we always talk and we like people think that it's like being weak and things like people always associate feminine energy with being weak, and it has absolutely nothing to do with that, and it has nothing to do with like just bowing down. It's nothing. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's still about being strong. Like just like chess, the queen is the most, you know what I'm saying, the most powerful piece on the board, hands down.
Absolutely.
Can't. It's hard to win without
the queen. You need yes.
Yeah. So it's definitely about not how can I say that? Not actually like being. I know we had a conversation the other day about like being like overly aggressive and things like that. That's not natural.
Yeah, well, that's true. Um, Feminine energy, is like it's being it's like radiantly influencing the attitude, behavior, and how one carries themselves.
Absolutely.
And some of the traits is being compassionate,
Nurturing.
empathetic, vulnerable, playful, caring, soft, nurturing, and that vulnerable word. A lot of women, not a lot. I want to make it out of a fallacy, but many. It's scary.
Yeah,
It's scary to women and men. So like I said, we both have to tap into the feminine and the masculine energy, just knowing when to bring it out. So some of the things that I made a list of some of the things that us women that we can do to tap into that feminine energy. Just to reconnect with ourselves. You can meditate. Do a little bit of yoga. Take a walk. Talk to yourself. It's always good to talk to yourself and to check in with yourself.
Absolutely.
Be vulnerable. I'm not saying you gotta tell the whole damn world your business and open up to your feelings to everybody, because you can't trust people. And that's okay. Just be a little vulnerable. Just open up a little. Yeah, a little bit soft.
Yeah.
Being empathetic. When when people come to you about situations, just learn how to listen and just put yourself in their shoes. And that goes along with, especially with our kings. We want to be here to support them. We need them. We queens, we need our kings. Self-care. Self-care, like I said in my last YouTube, diet, exercise, how your self-image, how you looking out there, taking care of yourself. Are you doing, putting the right things in your body, putting the right things on your body, taking care of your mental. All of that goes into play of um, living in the feminine energy. Communicating softly and assertively, not just and listen, I've come a long way over the past 5 years. and kind of like, that's what we do. But I have learned how to dial down a bit, and like I said, just take care of yourself and your parents, But that's basically what it is. It has nothing to do with being weak. And I know women that's like, oh, you don't want to show no emotion. You don't want them to think, and people can, you know, get you that way because when weakness, emotions, especially when you feel it's a low frequency, so it's easy for them to get in, So I
The
mean,
environment can definitely change you and like put you into that masculine. Um, Put you into that, take you out of your feminine and put you into that masculine survival. You know what I'm saying? Like put you in that survival mode, and that is not a woman that you know what I'm saying? I don't think most men want a woman in survival mode. But of course, we definitely could do a better job of
I was gonna get to that.
you know, helping that transition and stuff like that. I know I haven't been the best person at, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Helping out with those things. We had those conversations and you be like, bro, you can't do shit like that.
You can't do this, you can't say that. Yeah, you corrected me and checked me on things too, so it's all
we still learning.
Still learning and still growing, but you have come a long way. Very proud of you. The fact that you have noticed these things and you are able to admit and see, where I'm wrong. Okay, I did say that, but you still be putting the butts in there, but
you gotta get away from the butts after you making it, what I'm saying? After you acknowledging anything that you know that you're wrong, and I still do it sometimes, like, and I definitely, have to catch myself when somebody does something and I react, and then I'm like, yeah, I did this because
you reacted off of somebody else.
Because I reacted, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I do it and I'll be like, they ask me they may ask me why I did it, and I'll tell them why I did it, but that doesn't make me, I'm not taking accountability for what I did. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? The mental process and what happened on why I did what I did. It's not excusing it at all, and I'm not blaming anybody because it's still my fault. You know what I'm saying?
It goes a long way. We were talking the other day, and I told you that you used to always say to me, like over 7 years ago, you used to say, Shawnee, you do have, and you told me I have an arrogance about me, and I was like, no, I don't. I need a man. I want a man. But it was different. It's more, of my actions that was saying, not my words, because I can say I need this, that, and third, so I definitely understand now through my situations with, bearing kids and, being in a situation, being a single mother and just learning from other people and my own mistakes. I definitely understand now what you meant, because I live in my feminine now, I know that I need a man, and women be like, you don't need no man. I was raised by a single mother. So, she never told me that I didn't need a man, but she could ask nobody for anything, and it was like, I'm going to get this on my own. I'm not going to ask nobody for nothing. I never seen her cry, never seen her sad, only when somebody died, that was it, maybe one time. So I'm used to, that's the traits that I took on. But I never heard her say, you don't need no man. My mother actually told me before I bought my house when I was 27, she said, you sure you want to rush into that? Because you may find a man that want to do it for you. And I said, ain't no man going to do that. That's where my mindset was. It was be a go-getter. I had got my degree, got out my mother's house, and was still grinding, trying to survive. And I'm like, yeah, well, if one come, whatever. I'm going to do, but now I know that it's important, and I tell my daughters, and I tell, Jaden, like, this is not a normal situation. The situation I'm in, raising y'all by myself, taking care of everything, this is not a normal situation. So, Charlie Ashton, you will need a man, to carry out certain things, and then raising children, you all bring things to the table that we can't. Like, I'm a single mother trying to raise my son. So how do you feel about that?
I was raised by a single mother. She's a hard motherfucker, I talked about that I'm sorry. I talked about it on the last podcast, and yeah, I watched her, you know what I'm saying, do a lot of things, and it kind of, I want to say, it kind of messed up my perception about, like, how a woman should be sometimes, and then I had to unlearn that because it's just like that's it. Like I said, that's not normal for her to bear down and do everything. Like I said, I never seen her cry outside of one funeral in my lifetime. She never like complained, and she was a hard chick. What?
They say it takes a firm woman to do it, you know.
And I definitely couldn't see her with any daughters at all. Like,
oh really?
What?
Wow.
No.
Oh,
She even said, I don't know what the hell I would have did, but with that, like, of course, it's like we've been put into like we've been kind of trapped in the system to where as though we think that's normal, and I talked about that on the last podcast. That whereas though when we was going to Waverly and me not having my father, I thought it was normal, right? And then I started going to Lock Raven and playing basketball with these other guys that everybody's fathers around, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it definitely I had to unlearn those things also, and then also with being the whole macho man thing. It's all about you gotta have the balance with, like I said, men do have to live. You know what I'm saying? They have to have that opposite side, that feminine side,
yin
also
and yang.
the yin and the yang. That's what it's all about. And our society has definitely groomed and made us into these very hard up people. That we think that even the men think that they don't need anybody, and I said it before. I'm gonna die alone with a bunch of animals around me. You know what I'm saying?
That monkey you
Yeah,
talking
the monkey. I don't think I can buy no monkey now, but it's this environment thinking that these single parent homes are normal, and it's definitely it's been a pattern, and then once you take either out of that household, then you're missing, you know what I'm saying, that opposite side of the spectrum, and the opposite side, you know, the yin and the yang. You're missing a lot of that. So with my mother being in that position, I didn't get those softer, you know what I'm saying, interactions with her. You know what I mean? Like we legit stopped hugging and stuff like that when I was like 8. You know what I mean?
Thing.
And then she like, you know, she thinking she raising a boy, you know, 2 boys in Baltimore, and her growing up in Baltimore and being hard charged like that. It was a lot of things that I didn't learn until I was older. That compassion and trying to understand people. And people do say I'm an asshole and that I don't have any feelings, but I talk them in a lot because making those decisions, I can't make decisions based off of my emotions. I can't do it. Women can do it. You know.
We do it quite often.
Yeah, I do it very often. Sometimes it comes off very irrational, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
So yeah, that whole dynamic in the household is like the start of it. Like being able to actually live in your feminine as a woman is kind of taken away very often, especially in our community. It's taken away. Yeah. And TD Jakes definitely said it, and I know we was talking about it. He got a lot of backlash for that. I think it's absolutely absurd that he got so much backlash, because even when you look at like our community and stuff like that, a lot of the women just feel like that they even downplay providing, which is huge. It's huge. Like, it's not easy to provide. It's not. And as much as people, as much as people be like, oh, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can, and they might very much so be able to do it. I'm not saying that people can't do it, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's not.
And it takes away. Yeah,
and it takes away from, like, my mother being the main provider. It took away from her softness. She couldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? When I, you know, when I was having issues, it wasn't ever like, you know, hey, you know, what's wrong? She did talk to me, but it was like, you know, what's wrong with you? Stop
Right.
acting like that. You know what I mean? But it was never like, hey, everything's gonna be all right. And what TD Jake said, I think it was very on point. And even like how we said, or how I said, it's uh, when you put a woman in that environment, right, to in survival mode, then she's not able to be the queen that she truly that she needs to be and that she can be. So then she thinks it's like, oh, that's when you get the career driven women, which is fine if that's what you want to do. By all means, it's not none of my, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not none of my business. But what he was saying was very true, and it's 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 not even natural for a woman to be living in her masculine. It's not, and it's not
all
natural.
the time. Like
No, not all the time. I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like living in it. Like this is your foundation, is to live in your masculine. Like I ain't gotta wait for no nigga to do nothing for me. I gotta wait for nobody. I got this. Which sometimes it may be a point in your life that's what you have to do. But to live your whole life like that, like I don't. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think.
Well, some of us don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like,
and
with me, like we was talking about the alpha male, and you like, man, you got to pick one. You an alpha female, or you a beta. Like, you got to pick one. And I'm like, well, I prefer to be beta, but because I am running my household, I'm alpha. By nature, that's just what it is, the nature of my situation. So I definitely understand what you're saying. And TD Jakes, he did get a lot of backlash, but like we talked about yesterday, I think that a lot of the backlash, it was because of his deliverance and the way that he was defining being in a masculine energy. So some people felt like, oh, so TD Jakes basically okaying men to yell and to be nasty and to be mean, because he's saying that this is what that energy looks like being a man.
What did I say? When women live in that, what he was saying was, what I perceived, what he was saying was that when women live in the masculine like that, then it becomes unnatural. Like it's like, then it becomes, they come off, because they don't know how to be a man, right? At the end of the day, they don't know how to be a man. People can get mad at me all y'all want, but you don't know how to be a man. So even in the military, we had a lot of leaders and stuff like that, and that's a majority male environment. So they would try to like compensate and act like us, and it's like,
you told me about
bro,
that.
calm down. Like you do not gotta yell every time. Like we're gonna listen to you. You don't gotta be running around throwing F's and motherfucker this and then throw your emotion. I had a leader. She got mad at me and did some very emotional underhand shit. Like I wasn't the best sergeant or nothing like that. But I definitely took care of nobody could say that I didn't take care of my business.
Okay.
Whatever they gave me. But she did some emotional things. But she was one of those headstrong, living in her masculine. She would always say, I don't need no man for nothing. And she kind of looked like a man a little bit. And I hope she's watching too. So yeah. So she was a big woman. She was a very big woman. But no, I'm just saying all that to say, she was definitely like it comes off when a woman is trying to live in that masculine space. It comes off very overly aggressive. Just like when men that are whatever you want to call them. I don't want to offend anybody because you can get canceled before you even get on stage. But those men, they're very flamboyant. Women do not act like that,
right?
And that's not a norm, and for a woman to act like that. So of course, when a man tries to go live completely in his feminine, it looks.
I see what you're saying. It's exaggerated.
Yeah, it's so exaggerated.
But it's really not how we are.
It's completely exaggerated.
So it's the same.
And vice versa.
It's the same as when a woman acts like, yeah. So when we imitate you on it, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not. It's like even when a white person tries to imitate us and our culture, it's like that don't even look cool. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? You kind of it looks forced completely. So Yeah, that's what I thought that TD Jakes was saying when he said, um, they're out here yelling, and that's what you get when even my mother, like, living in her, you know what I'm saying, her man, she was very, like, aggressive.
Aggressive.
She was very aggressive. I watched her fight a man before. I watched her fight, period, before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I watched her fight.
Yeah.
I watched her fight, and I didn't jump in because she
She
doing
could
her
handle her
thing.
business.
And I was scared.
Yeah. I had this conversation with my best friend too the other day. He was telling me that he was telling me, not the other day, but we had this conversation, and I was a little concerned about things that I was going through with my son.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what do I need to do? Like, I need to be tough. I need to. And he said, you could do that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to have an effect on the way that you are with your girls.
Mm.
You're going to be hard on them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be hard with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be exuding that feminine side, that
Mm-hmm.
nurturing side, because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be so caught up in being masculine for Jaden. And I thought about it, like, he said, you need a man.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that you need a man to, like, be in a relationship, but he needs a man there. So I see what you're saying about that, with your mother being that way.
Yeah, it was definitely I really think that I don't have emotions because I just learned how to kind of, like, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Yeah, but that's what,
That's enough.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's not,
Someone that I know always say, you're so emotional. And I'm sitting here like, I'm curious to know what kind of women you dealing with, to say that I'm emotional. Are you dealing with women like you? Oh, you are so emotional.
Yeah.
You think with you can tell you wear your heart on your sleeve, and you think that being logic is always the best way. You need to have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You need that yin, that yang. You can't have a yin yang. One doesn't work without that. So, it's a lot,
that's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's a lot to unravel because these are the ways that we've been conditioned.
Absolutely.
Our women have been conditioned, and queens, we need our kings. Not saying that they are supposed to be, and it's up to us. This is why self-love is important. It's up to us to know what that looks like, and not to allow everyone to lead and not to accept everyone to lead. That is why I'm here to help you all, show you what it looks like. It's just, just by saying that we need a man, it's not saying that we're weak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need a man. Yes, we need a man. It's a reason why we're put on earth together.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and like a lot, I know I've heard a lot of women say that they've tried to be what's the word, vulnerable with the man, and he kind of ruined it and ruined her. I've definitely been guilty of being that man, and I definitely I still am working on me to try to make sure that I'm not imposing that ever again, because I do have a daughter now, and I definitely want her to to see a good,
her first love,
a role model, a good role model as far as what a man should be for you. Like, a lot of women, I don't want to keep saying that.
We're not going to say a lot.
Yeah. Some women
that I know that.
Yeah. Some women believe that just chasing after guys with a bag is supposed to be like the holy, you know what I'm saying, the end of the tunnel, the holy grail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's not nowhere near what all it needs to be, because there's a lot of men out here with a lot of money that are very abusive.
Yeah.
And they beat on women and and do all, and they're very what you call
aggressive?
No, not aggressive. Controlling. They're very controlling. They're very controlling and stuff
insecure.
like that. And insecure about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the basis off of what I believe that you should the basis off of what I believe that you should look for in a man, the like the floorship, like the tires, the engine, and the steering wheel.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? So it's, you know what I'm saying, can he provide? Is he will he go out actually and get some money, or if he not gonna go get some money, is he gonna throw some goddamn food for y'all, go hunting for you and shit like that? Can he protect? Can he protect you? If he can't protect you, then you know what I'm saying.
Right.
What you gonna run downstairs when somebody kicking the door? You know what I'm saying? And then respect. Like, does he respect you as a woman and things like that? So, and like once again, I've been guilty of two of those. I've never been not protective and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
But I've definitely been broke and not been able to provide. And I've been disrespectful, and I definitely I've tried to, you know what I'm saying, completely change that about myself, about the whole respect thing, because once again, going back to my mother, like it was an expectation that I had of what a woman should be doing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, well, you crying about doing this? My mother did this.
My mother did this, and
yeah,
a lot of men are like that.
Yeah. And that's very. I had to stop. I really had to stop it, because it's just like, that's just like how I don't want to hear. Well, I know a nigga do this for such and such, and I've been in those scenarios. You know, like my first wife, she told me that, like, it was a whole situation. She moved here when we got married.
Okay.
And, I didn't have the apartment set up and everything, and she was like, well, I'm gonna just say the girl is Sasha. Sasha's husband had everything set up when, you know what I'm saying, when she came, and it's like, well, I don't know that nigga, and nor do I care about what he does. Well, my mother cooked, and you making me chicken nuggets and jalapeno poppers, so you know what I mean. But you can't look to the men, to the kings out there. You can't look for your mother in a woman. Like, you can, by all means, but you can just go live with your mother for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but that's true too. But just like you all have an image to uphold to your boys as mothers, we have an image to uphold to our boys as well. We're their first love, so we gotta show, because I'm like, I check myself. I try to check myself, when it comes to Jalen, because I'm like, he's definitely gonna go see someone out here like me, And I tell him, and I'm gonna be honest, I have 3 children, and I'm single, and I tell him, listen, not that I'm knocking anyone, or not that I'm judging anyone. I want you to have someone who is not fresh, but don't go out and get a woman. And it sounds so it's like it's not contradictory. Yeah. I mean, because of course I'm a woman. Of course, one day I would want to be loved and stuff like that, and someone to accept me. But just don't let that be the first thing that you're looking for. You can. My situation with me being a single mother, don't go out and search for a woman that's like, oh, I want a woman that has 3 children, that's a single mother. I want you to get someone who exhibit my qualities and my characteristics and my ambition. The things that I do is the things you see me do as a single mother. Get someone that's like that, but not someone that's in that situation. And I mean, God bless women like that. That's why I'm here, because I'm in that situation, so I can speak for it. Not saying that I should be loved any less just because of my situation, because things happen. It just didn't work out, and there was some decisions. I never call it mistakes. I always call it decisions, because we all have a choice to make, and these were the choices that I decided to make. Now, had some about upbringing. Would have been a little bit more. I'm gonna say we had more information out there, and we had more guidance, in which I had a lot of guidance. Thank God my sister, my big sister Sparkle. Hello, if you watching. I mean, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today without her. And my mother showing me, giving me the strength that I needed. My mother did the best she could do. I had everything, growing up. I had the materialistic things, So, I mean, it's just, I try to tell them, you gonna go out here and get a woman, get a woman that do have my qualities but not my situation. Of course, no one wants that for their child, and I understand. Like, it may sound like I'm being contradictory, but I'm not. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
With the situation. And that's you know.
Live through it, so you completely understand that you made your mistakes. Of course, you want way better for.
I want way better for my children. Exactly, for my girls and for my boy. You know. Yeah. So.
I would never want my kids to go to the army. That's on the military period. I would never want them to ever do that. You know what I'm saying? I did it already. You don't got to do it. Like that's it. I'm gonna definitely try to instill this whole entrepreneur lifestyle.
That's what I'm trying to do. You know.
For sure.
It's difficult with the boys, and everybody's like, yeah, I want a boy. My best friend, she like, yeah, I'm gonna have a boy, because they easy to deal with. Man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, those girls, they might have little attitudes and mouths, but they are so much more easy to motivate. You gotta kick.
Oh, you saying motivate?
To motivate.
All right. Because girls definitely be giving you the business. The fucking business. Like, bro, my daughter is 3, and she the boss.
She the boss. You always say Ashton and Charlie is the boss.
Yeah, no, they definitely run the house, but yeah. And then if you looking at teenage girls go through their whole
hormonal phase, and adolescent, and the puberty and the periods. Oh man.
I'm not even excited about that at all. Like, I don't know. I really don't. Like, I'm gonna have to really get up on all of those things that you got on that bed. Yoga. I'm gonna have to get up on everything. I'm gonna have to be up on everything because I feel like it's gonna be very difficult for me to be like, because I'm very low tolerance when it comes to like that whole high up and emotion down thing, and actually looking like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Like, calm down. Like,
see, so it's not just Geminis.
Yeah. Listen, I know Geminis through and through. My mother was a Gemini.
Your mother is a Gemini.
Crazy, hands down, crazy. Not. I'm not. That's dismissive. Y'all not crazy, but y'all are definitely like
a handful.
Special people to deal with. Y'all are definitely like.
That's what I've been told, but it's all of this is really important. Yeah. Information that we bring to you guys today, and we're not even. Oh, I think I'm old.
You old?
Man, I'm 34. I'm about to be 35 next.
I'm not old, guys.
Okay, I am old.
I might got a torn meniscus and a messed up back, but guess what? I'm not old. I don't care what you can claim that.
Well, okay, we're not old, but coming from us young adults, say that. For us to be the age that we are, well, I feel like we are really at that age. I don't want to even say that.
I want to hear it.
We are at that age where we should know certain things, but
no.
I don't want to say that.
I know some 50-year-olds that are.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to put I don't want to put a age on that, because people attach an age to that, because people think that, I'm 30, I should have my house, and it just may not. That's not what you. That may not be for you. That may not be your path, and that's okay. Oh, I don't have children, or I don't have this. I'm not married. It's okay, So I don't want to attach anything to an age. I'm saying what society says. Oh, you're 34. You should know this. If it's never been taught to you, if you don't know any better, then no, you shouldn't know it.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
That goes into a whole bunch of things, though. Like, as far as like what we should have been.
See, one of my Tell them, though, we the best, Geminis.
Oh, cut it out.
We the best.
All right.
But anyway.
Yeah, but that goes even to like the whole the finances thing. Like, only thing that like that our older generation, they didn't know anything about like
financial literacy.
Yeah.
The older generation, because my mother, she always had A1 credit. She was
always no, they do that. They do that, but they don't. Like, my mother taught me how to save money. I save money with the best of them, but what to do with it after. Right, what you gonna do? Yeah, I'm about to go. I see
what you're saying.
Yeah.
They
they was in a whole nother space with it, and like no shot at Vaughn, but she's one of the cheapest people that I know. Hands down.
Your mother? What? Oh my goodness! I think that may be a Gemini thing. Let Brittany tell it. I'm cheap.
You be turning the A off. You turn the A off
day. I turned the air off in the house and I came back. Whew, I was in for a rude awakening too. No, I'm not cheap. I'm economical, and I do well. Yes, and I do well. I do well with budgeting and money, and I do, have good credit. So all of that plays and goes into play. With, I don't think cutting the air off for an hour is cheap.
My mother used to run the air for an hour and be like, keep the doors and the windows closed. Like, no.
Right.
And then turn it back off. So,
right.
All right.
Well, now one thing I will say, actually, it costs more money to do that because I used to do that too, especially at the apartment.
Oh, so you used to do it though? Okay. So, all right.
Okay, yeah, yeah, something like that. So you actually spend more, whatever. You actually spend more energy, and more money on doing that, cutting it off, Just let it run because it's going to have your system work 2 times harder, so, yeah. So, but yeah,
It's all, what's the?
This was just,
right.
No, about the, the feminine energy.
Yeah.
So what is some, what are some ways that men can, what do you feel like some of the ways that men can tap in a little bit more to that feminine energy, especially like since you say you have a daughter, so you're going to have to learn how to be a little
soft. She's, I'm telling you, I would definitely say she's the boss. Because I was definitely angry one day and I was fussing about something, and she just walked up to me and was like, "Papa, no!" And I'm just like,
"Oh,
you want some ice cream?" She's like, "Yeah."
Okay, and it's like, yeah, let's go get some ice cream.
Yeah.
What I said.
Whatever I said. But yeah, just the same way. I think it's the same way. Like doing your yoga, the self-care, meditating, and all of those things definitely help you tap into to check when you're becoming when you're riding that wave of toxic masculinity. I don't even
believe that toxic.
Yeah.
Just basically know.
I think that's the most absurd thing that people say, toxic masculinity.
It's funny, I was having a conversation with somebody one day yesterday, and they were like, yeah, people using that toxic word. I think that's like, toxic.
Yeah, toxic. Yeah. Toxic, gaslighting. It's like, So now you're just using it whenever. Like, you just use it for anything. You're toxic.
Yeah.
I was told that I was toxic, but it's... Anyway, people just use it way too loosely without really actually knowing what toxic truly is and things like that. So, but no, like I was saying, to live in, to tap into that feminine energy, like most definitely, you gotta. One thing that I do to I'm really trying to keep myself grounded, and I'm definitely going through like a transition in my life right now. Mentally going through a transition, and
that's called your awakening, son.
Yeah, for sure. And I do yoga barefoot in the backyard now.
I know, I seen on your story.
I know. Yeah, my homie commented and he said, "I don't want to see you tooting your ass like that. I don't want to see you tooting your ass like that. Why'd you know?" I'm like, "Bro, shut the hell up, man." Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I was sitting down with Doug.
Yeah.
On, man. But no, I definitely do the self-care stuff. I make sure that I definitely went through a phase of, a lot of improper dieting, and that definitely affected me. I can definitely feel a difference when I'm not eating well, and then I get more irritable, and I'm like a lot more short-tempered and things like that. And then when I get in, then it'll send me into depression and things like that. And then it's just like, then I eat something bad again, because I'm like, these yeah.
And me, so
So
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but eating right, definitely taking your vitamins.
Yes. Probiotics.
probiotics, and exercising and stuff like that, and getting outside and just into nature. Like I know you said you started doing that.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
go to
know.
the park. I go
like,
to the stream.
I watched it.
I love it there.
Yeah,
Like that's where I go. That's serenity for me.
Yeah. And it helps you. And it's not even like I don't even really. Well, I guess you could call it tapping into your family, but I just feel it just brings you balance. Like when you do those things, it's like you may be like wound up and high strung on a certain level and things like that. And when you do those things, then it kind of like it's like all right, it's not that heavy. You know what I mean? Like releases a lot of tension when you get those things. When you do those, when you add those things to your lifestyle, and don't do it for a week and be like
make it a lifestyle. I feel like that self-improvement stuff and just like healing yourself mentally, that is a lifelong journey. That is something that is not going to ever stop. I mean, and you're not perfect. Like they say, like on the road to healing, it's not going to look like this. It's going to look like this, like this, like this. You know, you're going, Because I mean, I know because I'm in that. You know, I go through that sometimes.
For sure.
And then that's when you just shoot up and you ascend.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's a big misconception. People think that like the road to healing is so like.
I'm not sad today. I'm happy every single day. And no, doesn't go that.
I mean, I think affirmations are funny, but it's like I get why people do it, but it's just like
why do people do it?
I don't know.
So
I mean, but
that's actually one of my queens and things. You say affirmations because you are being in the present moment, right?
Okay.
So when you being in the present moment, that subconscious gravitates towards the subconscious.
Okay.
Towards the what is it? That moment, you know. Okay. So that's how you train your subconscious being in the moment and saying those affirmations, even going to bed at night with some headphones, record yourself.
I do that.
Yeah. Say, look,
I don't record myself.
I haven't done that either, but I can try it. But I mean, record yourself saying positive things about yourself, and then you're going to believe your subconscious is 95% of what controls us, and we control.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
You see those affirmations every single day in the mirror, and when you go to bed, put your headsets on because your mind is going to. Everything starts with the mind, like everything. If you say and then they say put it out in the atmosphere. Look, I'm gonna be a doctor. Watch this, and then you start slowly but surely. If you keep saying that every day, and you're gonna believe it, and you're gonna do little things toward becoming a doctor. Oh well, guess what I read today? I read how to sew some stitches today, and I read. And then you're gonna find yourself. Well, I signed up for a class today. I'm in school. Guess what? I'm gonna go take the MCAT. I'm in medical school now. It all starts with the mind and the subconscious. You gotta train that, in order.
I dig it.
Yeah, so that's why people say those affirmations.
Okay. I just never been like the one, but I'll definitely go do the whole night playing the headphone.
Absolutely.
Frequencies and stuff. I play frequencies though.
Lamar Simmons, absolutely.
Who's Lamar Simmons?
I'm not sure. I'm responding to.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's my guy.
He said the road to healing rough, the affirmation should be going in your head. Exactly.
Okay.
Doing yoga.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do the frequencies.
Your shoulders.
Huh?
Your shoulders.
Yeah. Like chakras.
Yeah.
So I definitely play the frequencies and stuff like that. It just helps me.
Oh, you're talking about the Hertz 432 and 428. Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
I just never I understand. I that's why I said I kind of understand it, but I really didn't like. Standing in the mirror, I would feel weird. Whatever.
Well, you don't have to stand. Whatever.
It's just me. It's just me.
It ain't no different from when you FaceTime people. Nobody wants to see your face all up.
Yeah.
It's no different, So.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good though. I'm with it.
So it's just important, queens, to this is a man, and he's telling us They're telling us what we want, what they want. You know, not so much saying, oh, we have to bow down, and it's like, oh, bow down, we got to. This is what they need. They want what they need, and in order for us to have a smooth sailing, coherent relationship, loving, relationship foundation. These are the things that we need, and we need them to be. We need them to be able to have a balance with their feminine as well and their masculine.
For sure.
So, I wanted to share something. I always talk about this in my live. One of my lives is called Powerful and Feminine. And my best friend, he put me on with this book. Shout out to Dr. Jabril Johnson. He put me down with this book, Okay. His wife is currently reading it, and it's a really good book. I'm starting to read it as well. I wish we would have started together, but it's a really good book. It shows you how to be assertive and how to walk in the room and light up. Because some of us, we don't have the confidence. We walk in the room and we, hello. Where we should walk in the room and we glow without having to feel like, oh, yeah, we're better than people. You should never get confidence is not thinking that you're better than the next person. Never. Well, they'll see it. Yeah, they can see it. It's a delay. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, you can't see it, but yeah. So this is a really good book. It's on Amazon, and actually, I'm thinking about starting a book club. I asked, some of my queens, how do y'all feel about starting a book club? We can read books together, and we can have sessions, and then we can talk about these things. If you're open to it, please let me know. I am on IG, Me Movement, and also check out Queens and Things. It's level to it. It's 6 basic things that you do every day. You make up the bed, you say your prayer every day. What? You
no, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the text.
You wake up, you pray for yourself and others. And it's about praying correctly. You want to pray, you want to be very detailed in your prayer and what you're asking for. And praying for other people. You want to make up your bed because it's just something psychologically that I feel. When you make up your bed and you come home and you lay, your bed not made up, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to lay down in that. You want to create fresh dreams, then you want to write down 5 things that you're thankful for every single day. Every single day, just, it could be anything, because we all have something, thankful, something that we can be thankful for. Of course, we can think of a million things that we not. And then, you want to make sure that you say your affirmations in the mirror. And along with those affirmations, every day, please make sure, queens and kings, that you are doing something that makes you happy, something that you like doing, So, thank you so much, Mr. Bear Form Fitness, Derek Johnson, for, joining this live today. I think this was a really good discussion, well balanced, coherent. Everything made sense. I hope this helps some of you queens and kings. Like I said, I'm on IG every day. Me Movement. This is my YouTube. Check out the IG, and I also have TikToks. I do little skits, or what you call them, little videos. Just empowerment, women empowerment.
How you doing, queens?
Hey, queens. Guess what? So yeah, thank you so much for everyone, who's on here right now and participating. Thank you so much for people who's watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There will be more, and subscribe, subscribe, hit that bell button, so yeah, hit the bell button. But thank you so much, queens and kings. Until next time, take care of yourself and do those queens and things. Thank you so much.
What, just hit it? Just tap it.
Hit it. You gotta probably take it off.
My bad. I don't want to mess up nothing. I just followed you on IG too. This your channel, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, it said that it was locked. Okay, I see.